What if you could have an AI assistant that doesn't just process data, but actually understands it? Imagine feeding in your raw data and watching it automatically clean, analyze, and visualize it, all while interacting with it in plain English. That's not just a dream, it's something I'm aiming to build here today. An intelligent analytics platform powered by AI agents that work together to turn raw data into actionable insights. I've already laid the foundation, and today I'll walk you behind the scenes on just how we're going to make this happen. Now, before we get started, I want to preface that I am not a software developer. This is the first time I've ever jumped into a project like this. I am a data analyst, and I saw this need with people I worked with that weren't able to analyze and visualize their own data and needed help for simple tasks and building out simple visualizations, where a tool like this would allow them to interact directly with their data and get the visualizations they need without relying on a data analyst to perform those tasks. It's like having a team of data analysts all at your disposal whenever you need it. Now, before we dive into the code and everything that's currently built, I want to start with the actual project plan and the roadmap we built. When I say we, I mean me and Claude AI. I relied heavily on AI using Claude as well as Cursor AI to develop and come up with this plan and build this product so far. Now, we split this into 10 phases. Phase 1 is our foundation and core architecture. This is where we worked on our backend framework, our database design, version control, and simple setups like that. Phase 2 is where we're going to start bringing in data. We are currently still in phase 1. There's a couple things we need to wrap up there. So phase 2 is where we are going to start bringing in the data and build that pipeline and processing where we'll clean and transform the data as needed. Phase 3 is where the fun begins. This is where we're going to build our AI agent system, our team of AI agents that will do all the tasks from data cleaning, analyzing, visualizing, modeling the data, as well as the natural language processing. Phase 4 is where our analytics and visualizations will come into play, where our agents will build these models and visualizations for the user to see. Phase 5 and 6 is all how the user will interact with the product. These are very important to me as I want a clean, user-friendly UI for people to have a good experience interacting with this tool. Phases after that are all your typical ones for any product, with security, user management, testing, quality assurance, document, and deployment. So far, we've completed several crucial components, so let's dive into exactly what we've built so far. Let's start with the architecture decisions. So like I said previously, I'm relying heavily on AI to help me along the way, as I have never done this before and I am building this on my own. I decided to go with FastAPI for the backend for several reasons. Async support for handling multiple AI agents simultaneously, as well as built-in OpenAI documentation. It has excellent performance for data-heavy applications such as this. For database design, for the database itself, I decided to use PostgreSQL as it has a friendly free tier and is user-friendly to get set up and get connected with. Here are our actual database models that we're using: time series data for actual data points, dataset metadata for storing and informing about each dataset, analyst results for strong AI agent outputs, audit log for tracking all systems operations. Now let's look into what's actually working so far, starting with our database interfaces. Here's our database connection layer. We've got connection pooling for efficient resource use, async operations for better performance, error handling and retry logic, and transaction management. Testing has been and will be a major priority for me going throughout this whole project. Here is our current testing framework. This is how we have it set up. We haven't currently run this yet, but this is the next step in our build phase, is to start testing what we have. We're using pytest with fixtures for database testing, async for test support, mocking for external sources, and coverage reporting. For monitoring, we've implemented response time tracking, resource usage monitoring, error rate tracking, and custom metrics for AI agent performance. Now, coding with AI has its challenges, and I've run into some along the way so far. Getting the database connections all set up took some troubleshooting, as AI coding is not perfect, but it helps you walk you through it. Cursor is great at troubleshooting. You just have to know how to ask the questions properly, and you're able to get through it with just a little bit of help. We're also needed to isolate to have a set testing environment, so we weren't screwing up the progress we were already making. So we were able to split into 2 separate environments. So next up, we're going to dive into the LLM integrations and bringing in the actual AI into the product, as well as bringing in data with our data integration pipeline, and start getting those connections set up. We will be building file upload handlers, data validation systems, and agent communication protocols. So that's where we stand today. Next up, we'll be working on those data integrations, as well as wrapping up the final few touches in phase 1. And then I'll be able to start building the first AI agents, which I'm really excited for. All this code is available on GitHub. The link should be available in the description. And if you have any interest in AI, data analytics, or applications such as these, please feel free to subscribe and follow along. Drop a comment if you have any questions or suggestions about future features, as well as if you have any tips or tricks for coding and developing using AI, as this is my first time doing it. Thanks.